I came across one of my to-do lists.
to do.
Take a careful...
Have you heard? Rumor is there's portal to Apocrypha somewhere in the city.
A portal, you say? Interesting. Maybe I'll go take a look. I've never seen a portal up close.
Until a guard comes along and asks to see him.
The mortal returns. I thought I recognized that wrinkle in the fabric of fate.
I hoped Laramil would be with you. We have news. Scroot and I uncovered the most interesting news. The Assembly of Masters learned of Master Shalreni's recent activities and has called for a... Scroot? It's complicated. The Assembly of Masters consists of just their mouths. The actual Masters rarely leave their towers, and never to meet with their rivals. Don't you see? When they convene the Masters' Conclave, Shalreni must be on hand to contest the charges. So, we know where we can... At Tel Hulan, the Tower Hall in Old Isra. As a curate, I think I can get us into the Conclave by claiming official Necrom business. House Telvanni prefers to stay on our good side, so they rarely ask too many questions of the Keepers of the Dead.
Curate or not, he'll never get into the Conclave bearing the mark of a Daedric prince. Not without my help. Underestimate Shalreni at your own peril. And do not think to just... Of course! Wasn't I the greatest magister of my time? If not for my desire for solitude, I would have been the Archmagister. Unfortunately, my spectral body isn't good for anything these days. You'll need to serve as my hands for this to work. Return to Telrendis, Around my tower, you'll find the components necessary to assemble a passable cloak of omission. Look for dried hoaxwort, a lamia scale shawl, and an illusion tincture of my own creation. I'll tell you more when we get there.
I've got what you need.
My prices can't be beat.
Why must there be all this talk and unrest? Makes the dead jittery.
Better overstocked than under.
Ho there! Traveler! Can you help me?
You there! You look like a capable forager. I need some help. Can we talk?
This could prove more difficult than I expected. Curses and corporeal existence. I can see why most ancestors move on instead of haunting their descendants. My mortal memories are much harder to recall than I anticipated. I don't remember where to find those components. Not exactly. Of course not. I buried the components we need in separate caches on the tower grounds. I just can't remember exactly where I put them. No matter. With your assistance, I'm sure we can find the right spots. Use my ghost sight. It will reveal the hiding places. Remember, Tel'Rendis is my place of power, despite Shalreni's attempts to make it her own. Here, I can easily use my magic through you, as long as you're willing. I placed sigils at the spots, but on a different layer of reality. Use my ghost sight, and you should be able to see them. The caches are buried beneath those locations. When you get close to a spot I recognize, I'll tell you to activate my sight. Has it really been so long? Those components look terrible. But they'll have to do. Use my ghost sight here.
Let's see what you're made of.
This must be the place. Isn't ghost sight wonderful? You'll find a cache here.
so soon. Give him a fight.
This old workbench. We can prepare the Cloak of Omission here. Good work. Now place the shawl. Place the components one at a time. Almost done. Now sprinkle the tincture. Excellent. Now take the Cloak of Omission. Go ahead and try it on. The cloak will mask your presence and hide your connection to the Prince of Fate. You look amazing. Barely a hint of a data connection. I should explain the particulars, though. Not a bad bit of work. You follow directions well. And the cloak looks perfectly dashing. Dashing, I say. Now let's head to Old Isra and meet up with Kirt Gadain. She should have gotten you access to the Conclave by now. Did I? I don't recall. But if you're asking about the Cloak of Omission, it could only shield you from so many scrying attempts. Eventually, someone will notice you. But the enchantment should last long enough for us to get our hands on Shelreni. Now that you mention it, yes. Gadain can get you on the access list, but you must play your part. Dunmer laws are labyrinthine, Telvanni especially. You need to invoke the proper statue to avoid suspicion. Just say the following to the sentry at the door. I hereby invoke the 26th statute of the Necrom Agreement, and then demand entry to the Conclave. Can you remember that? Once we get inside, we can meet up with Curate Gadain. What could Shelreni be thinking?
You there! You look like a capable forager. I need some help.
Tell Hulan, the Tower of Halls, home to the Assembly of Masters. Remember to invoke the statute when you demand entry, and put on the cloak.
Know that, Drew? As Master Shalreni's mouth, you are prohibited from entering the Conclave.
But I must warn the Masters.
Don't worry. Your treacherous master will be dealt with soon enough.
You must warn the other Masters. I can no longer stand by and do nothing while Master Shalreni continues along this dark path. Her actions threaten the entire peninsula. You probably shouldn't, but that doesn't mean I'm lying. I admired Shalreni for her skill and power. Thought she would help me rise in the ranks. But her ambition and contempt for her fellow Telvanni will doom us all. Master Shalreni made a deal with not one, but two Daedric princes. She plans to use their help to eliminate all who oppose her so she can become Archmagister. The Masters won't listen to me. They don't understand the danger. I'm not sure. Master Shalreni stopped confiding in me. But I know how she thinks. She has no respect for the Masters or this conclave. When they move to reprimand her, she's going to show them just how powerful she's become. It will be a bloodbath.
The Master's Conclave is in session. All other business is on hold. Come back later. Necrom, Let me see. Ah, yes. You're listed as Curate Gadain's attending clerk. Very good. You may go inside. I expect you'll find the curate in the Assembly antechamber, as the attending Magister declared the conclave for Masters only.
There's Curate Gadain.
Really, I must...
I insist, Curate. You do realize I wield considerable influence as Master Norvora's mouth.
Of course, but...
I could do much for you and the Keepers. Now tell me, what do you think of my book?
That's Master Norvora's mouth. We need to extract Gadain this instant.
The Curate and I are busy, Outsider. I am eager to hear what he thinks of my book, Ancestors of a Humble Mouth. It's a work in progress, but at least 2 booksellers have expressed interest. Come back later. How strange. As no one but Masters are allowed inside, Master Norvora explicitly told me to wait out here until after the Conclave concluded its business. Obviously, Master Norvora needs her spellbook. No master should ever meet her peers without being totally prepared. I'll go and fetch it at once.
Thank you, my friend. Follow me. I know a place where we can talk privately. We can speak freely here. You arrived not a moment too soon, my friend. Before they decided to seal the hall, and I was trapped in that dreadful conversation with Mouth Elar, I found what we needed. Master Shelreni is here, and being held under guard until the conclave begins. And now we come to the problem. Magister Gothran arrived from Sadrith Mora to oversee the Master's conclave. He immediately expelled all but the Telvanni Masters and placed a ward on the door. There's no way to get into the assembly hall. Sadly, disabling a ward placed by a Magister is beyond my capabilities. If you have any ideas, please share them. Otherwise, I fear the Masters are on their own in there.
A Magister? To counter Magister magic, eh? Good idea. Let's go disable the ward. A ward needs anchors. Use my ghost sight to spot them.
Master Morena seemed exhausted. Is she well?
The healers recommended she stay in bed, but she insisted we attend the conclave.
See them? One on either side of a door.
Understandable.
I'll lend you my power. Magister Gothran is good, but I'm better. Let's enter the assembly hall.
Too bad we're not allowed inside. I was hoping to see what punishment they devised for Master Shelreni.
This is a closed session. What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Now, Gothran, surely such restrictions don't apply to a Magister and his proxy.
Meln the Mouthless, a spirit. No matter. I will not tolerate your antics.
Nothing in our statutes precludes a dead Magister from participating in a conclave. Now, hear what my proxy has to say.
Very well. Step forward. You stand on shaky ground, mouth for the mouthless. What's so important that Magister Meln dares interrupt this closed session of the Master's Conclave? And Magister Meln thought us so ineffective that he had to swoop in and save the day? How presumptuous of him. Do you really think one rogue master is a match for this assembly? So I heard. Hence the reason I decided to leave my comfortable tower and come all this way to personally take charge of this conclave. The Masters will hear the charges, question the subject, and render swift judgment. Is that why you're here? To add another charge to Shelreni's list of crimes? Then so noted. Perhaps that's why she turned herself over without any fuss or bother, so that she can plead for mercy. Perhaps I'll be lenient. Perhaps not. Enough of this nonsense. I listened to the concerns of your Magister and heard his allegation. Now we are finished. Meln may stay if he wishes. That is his right. But you and the curate should go and leave us to our work.
Over here.
I forgot how boring my so-called peers can be. Pity Shelrenny didn't eliminate a few more of my rivals before we noticed. But your master, Meln. I have fond memories of his many antics. That's why I wanted a word with you. Your master has delayed these proceedings long enough. Master Shelrenny reached above her station and must be dealt with. Anything that postpones that and increases the time I must spend in the company of my so-called peers will not be tolerated. Murder, you say? That is serious. I suppose anything can be expected from a master who makes pacts with Daedra. We really need to strip her of her rank and exile her. Well, if you must see her, she's being held in a meeting room down the East Hall.
I don't understand this necessity for debate. If it were up to me, we'd get right to the vote. Nothing anyone has to say will change my mind about Shelrenny. Now then, is Magister Meln really dead? Meln may have confused Magister Gothrin, but there's no provision for a dead Telvanni participating in a conclave. It's just not done. Is that a threat? Master Morena led Shelrenny through the East Door for making similar pronouncements only a few moments ago. If that can happen to a master, imagine what's in store for a lowly mouth like you.
There's a meeting room just to the right. This must be where they're holding her.
Shelrenny's gone, but what's that tipped-over bottle over there? That's pure essence of dream. Let me cast a spell to see what happened here.
What was that? Just a little gift from the Prince of Dreams. Soon, you will do exactly as I say.
You won't get away with this.
I already have. And with your help, I'll get away with so much more. Now let's go attend the conclave. My ascension requires participants, willing or otherwise.
We must get to the conclave. It's held in the Master's private hall to the north.
Something's going on to the north. I think the conclave is starting.
Shelreni, you stand accused of conspiring against your fellow Telvanni, murdering Meln the Mouthless, and consorting with Daedric princes. How do you plead?
A Telvanni doesn't plead. But I will kill you all before I take my sacrifice and depart.
Help me, Magister.
Shelreni, cease your actions this instant.
Use my ghost sight to disable the wards and get down there.
You again? If these fools can't stop me, what hope do you have?
Come on, get up! I'm not ready to die a second time!
You're finally awake. Thank the ancestors. I thought Shelreni killed you.
We should talk, Mouth of Meln. The Mouth of the Mouthless. I suppose you want me to say that you and Meln were right. That I should have taken Shelreni's threat more seriously. Well, let's pretend I said that and move on to what needs to happen next. Yes, quite a display. She used the Conclave to formally announce her intentions. Her spell would have killed everyone, and positioned her to challenge the Archmagister for rulership of the house. Luckily, I was on hand to save the local masters. Shelreni may be a powerful master, but I am a Magister of the Telvanni Council. It was a simple matter to deflect her attack while the Conclave dispersed. Then, I stabilized the portal she fled through, assuming you would want to follow her. Really now, who do you think Meln consulted when he first invented his Cloak of Omission? I see the mark of Mora upon you. House Telvanni wants no part in the machinations of Daedric princes. Just make sure to kill Shelreni when you find her. Master Morena revealed her inadequacies when she allowed herself to be captured. The other masters survived. In both cases, House Telvanni won. If you plan to chase Shelreni, I suggest you leave now. I'm not going to hold that portal open forever.
This ancient ruin. Those markings. This place is dedicated to Vermina.
This place... I think we visited the memory of it in the Eye of Mora.
friend. Anything relevant in those papers? Was there anything? Was there anything in those papers about Master Shelreni or where we might find her? She writes about how Torvasard came to her, indoctrinated her into Vermina's service, how he was consumed with restoring something that was either stolen or lost, and how he insisted they find this ancient shrine. Interesting. So they sent the malachite mined from the Alavelis quarry here. And she discusses how the hidden kindred were formed to provide the workers needed to accomplish the restoration. Somehow, rebuilding a Vermina statue is the key to Torvasard's goal. This must be where that original memory took place. Where Vermina and Periite think Hermaeus Mora wronged them and stole whatever it is they now seek. Let's keep going. That restored statue and Master Shelreni must be somewhere in this old ruin.
We must find Shelreni and stop her from completing this rite.
There's Shelreni and Master Morena. We need to free her.
My black book!
Genius, Toby.
Looks like Shelreni got past my safeguards.
Sword memory to open a path to Apocrypha. All we need now is for Shelreni to finish the rite and perform the sacrifice.
Shelreni is using the restored statue as a focus for her rite.
You will not interfere.
An aspect of Vermina.
Away,
That's not good.
agents of fate! This vessel will help me restore what was taken from us all! Now! Now, my disciple. Complete the sacrifice.
Now, friend, free Morena from the
I'd
binding.
be mad if I went out like that.
This magic is unstable. Save yourselves. No! Not when we're so close.
Close my black book and take it. That should end the rite.
Taking the Black Book won't stop us, and one of you will serve just as well as a sacrifice.
No need to involve outsiders, Shelreni. Prince Vermina accepts your sacrifice and deems you a worthy vassal.
I regret the bloodshed, but soon Mor's injustice will be undone.
With this vessel, I can enter Apocrypha and strike at Mor's heart. With me, my faithful!
We have to warn Apocrypha. Let's return to the Necrom bindery and find Laramil.
Hold still, and I'll open a portal back to Necrom.
Neither Scroot nor I can feel Hermaeus Mora's presence. We both find this unsettling. Good, you are here. Both Scroot and I felt a sudden disturbance in the tides of fate. Something terrible has happened in Apocrypha, and Scroot and I no longer feel the presence of the one who knows. Another significant event in the annals of fate, and I missed it. But Master Shelreni is dead, and Vermina did what? Start from the beginning, Proxy. What happened at the Master's Conclave? So that was Shelreni's plan. Use whatever power the Princess provided to eliminate her rivals and move up in rank. I am glad she failed. But what happened after that? And Blightcrown decided to complete the rite anyway by sacrificing Shelreni instead. Ruthless, but in keeping with a follower of Periite. And you say this allowed Vermina to possess Shelreni's corpse? What happened next, Proxy? They cannot. Not usually. Hence all the trouble that Torvasad and his allies went through to reach this point. At least you saved the Telvanni Masters and recovered Meln's Black Book. Well done. While I ponder next steps, take this. You earned it. They cannot. Both screw, giving Vermina access to Apocrypha and a host to work through. They must know where to find the memory they seek, or they have a good idea where to look. Apocrypha is infinite. Without fate to guide us, we are lost in the dark without a candle. Blightcrown and Torvasard have ways to avoid detection. Only one viable option presents itself. We must ask Master Shelreni where Vermina has taken her body. Will you see this through, Proxy, before the disaster Mora foresaw comes to pass? Fortunately, we have 2 conduits to spirits not yet bound for Aetherius at our disposal. Magister Meln and Curate Gadain. Speak to Meln first. He obviously knows what happens when a Telvanni mage dies. Aetherius is the immortal plane. When a person dies, their spirit moves on to that realm unless something prevents that from happening. A violent death, perhaps, or because the spirit still has tasks left undone. Shelreni fits both categories. What Hermaeus Mora foresaw was always about an assault on Apocrypha. Vermina and her allies want to recover the memory that was stolen from them. But the way she's going about it will doom us all. We need to determine her destination and stop her. You know how you can feel the warmth and know the sun is above you, even if you never look up. That is what Scroot experiences every day in the service of her master, and what I sense when I commune with the one who knows. Now, it just feels empty. Perhaps. We know Blightcrown used a corrupting combination of pestilence and dream to avoid detection in the Panopticon, and he was trying to increase its potency. Maybe the Rite did more than open a path. Maybe it cut Mora off from his own realm.
Larimil's idea is a good one. Master Shelreni has the answer we seek, and I know how to reach her. No Telvanni master worth their weight in Quama cattle would relinquish their hold on this plane without a fight. I have no doubt we can contact Master Shelreni's spirit. Whether we can get her to cooperate, well, that's an entirely different matter. As the curate can tell you, Necrom forbids summoning the dead. But there's no regulation against the dead choosing to speak to you. We don't have to summon Shelreni's spirit. We can go to her and simply request an audience. Same place you found me. In her tower, of course. We must go to Tel Barrow and search her sanctum. If her spirit lingers, she'll haunt there. Oh, and better take Gadain with us. If she's become a vengeful spirit, his expertise might be required.
Meln, we can't just summon the dead whenever we please. It's forbidden.
Yes. Summoning is an affront to your order. But if the spirit is already there...
If I help you, I could jeopardize my standing.
We would not ask this of you if the situation was not dire.
Of course I'll help, Laramil.
I'll return to Apocrypha. See if I can find Vermina while you chase spirits. Not like I've got anything better to do.
Good luck at Helborough, my friends. Return here with whatever you learn.
Dealing with displaced spirits is very much frowned upon by the Keepers of the Dead. I'll help, because the stakes are great, but it goes against every iota of my training. That's an aspect of our beliefs, but not the primary component. And it's different when you visit the catacombs and a spirit appears before you. I suppose if Shelreni decides to speak to us, that shouldn't violate the Codex too badly. Indeed, the recently departed are often confused, and that confusion can turn violent. I much prefer to deal with the spirits of our ancient ancestors. They may be cantankerous, but they've had enough time to reconcile to their undead existence.
Where's the Keeper? He should have been here by now.
The tower's locked tight. We need another way inside.
Telvanni towers always have more than a single ingress and egress. Look around. Over there. Just let me... There. Easy enough for a Magister to remove a Master's ward. Let's go inside. Shelreni's private study. Her presence is strong here. My ghost sight allows you to see it. Move closer, and I'll try to get her to manifest fully.
Careful, my friend.
Blight Crown! He killed me. I'll destroy them all!
Such rage and suffering. Let me try to calm her.
Have you come to gloat? To see how far the mighty Shelreni has fallen? I would have led House Telvanni to new heights. Instead, I lost everything. All my work unfinished. My legacy in ruins. This is your fault, outsider. You and those duplicitous Daedric princes! Now, why in the name of my despicable ancestors would I even consider such a notion? You're my enemy! I'm content to sit back and watch as Vermina and Periite steal back whatever they think Hermaeus Mora took from them. You know nothing of the Telvanni, outsider, or of me. But I will admit that I hate it when a greater power reneges on a mutually advantageous agreement. Frankly, my role in all this was more difficult than what I requested of the princes. I decrypted Meln's Black Book, perfected Blight Crown's subterfuge concoction, and performed the rite that gave Vermina access to Apocrypha. And all for a simple favor. Eliminate my competition, and elevate me to the rank of Archmagister. I see what you did there. Clever. I suppose I've been taken off the board. A bit of revenge on my part is probably called for. The path to the memory Vermina seeks lies through the infinite panopticon. Torvasad will lead her there. It started with Torvasad and his dream of something lost long ago. He needed someone to acquire Meln's Black Book and perform the rite. In return, he would help me achieve my dream of becoming Archmagister, as long as I pledged myself to Vermina. Torvasad behaves like a broker, bringing disparate parties together for mutual benefit. In truth, I now believe this is all about Torvasad. He has his own agenda. Anyway, he convinced the princes to set aside their differences and work together. Truth be told, I never much cared. All I wanted was to do what was asked of me and get my reward. Instead, I got a dagger in the back from that disgusting Blight Crown. They believe Hermaeus Mora stole something from them. From all of us, really. It involves Torvasad's dream. He had vague visions of a Vermina shrine, believed it was important. So he asked Vermina to help him recall the entire dream. When she failed, he expanded his list of allies. That's where the hidden kindred came in. Look, maybe Mora stole Torvasad's favorite sweet roll recipe. I wouldn't put it past the Prince of Fate. He collects knowledge like House Lalu hoards gold. All I know is Vermina and Periite want the memory back, but Torvasad wants it more. Silent, you say? Then my enhanced subterfuge concoction worked. I told Blight Crown I could do it. I took Blight Crown's mix of disease and dream, and with a few adjustments to the right, enhanced its ability to hide them 1,000-fold. If Mora has gone silent, it means it affected him too. Cut him off from his own realm. Am I a genius or what? Oh, fear not. You can't separate a Daedric prince from their realm for very long. Should last just long enough for Vermina to get whatever she's after. Of course, who can say what will happen when a realm and its prince are sundered even briefly?
I can't absolve you of your transgression, Spirit, but I can grant you peace.
Eternal disappointment, more likely.
Let's return to Necrom and tell Laramil what we learned.
Ready.
Calm yourself, Scroot. I am sure Apocrypha is not as bad as you say. Ah, Proxy. Tell me what happened at Tel Barrow. Scroot returned from Apocrypha with disheartening news, while my efforts at research have been marginally effective at best. Tell me you have something better to report, Proxy. The Infinite Panopticon. First, they sought a memory to alter. Now they seek what? Another memory? And can they even find the entrance again? Well, we have a destination. Now all we need is a plan. What research I was able to accomplish tells me that Vermina will be a formidable opponent. But in order to enter Apocrypha without Mora's consent, she requires an anchor and a shield. In this case, Master Shalreni's body is mortal. If we destroy it, I do not believe that even Blightcrown's concoction will hide Vermina from the one who knows. Of course, there is also the matter of Apocrypha gone amok. But one problem at a time, I think. Gadain, this will be dangerous. I would feel better if you remain here, out of harm's way.
I swore to retrieve the relic, and I can't stand the thought of you facing this danger without me. All of you, really.
Vomitus.
As I've feared, the entrance to the Infinite Panopticon has moved.
As is its nature. Which means we have failed and reality is doomed.
I refuse this outcome. Fate, bend to my will.
Laramil, be careful.
There is no time. The Panopticon must exist. Here, I command it.
Laramil, you did it! The Panopticon is open!
I was not sure if that would work, Proxy. It weakened me. It will be up to you to safeguard us against whatever awaits inside. Like Scroot, I feel the agony rippling through the very fabric of Apocrypha. How that will manifest, I hazard to guess. Nonsense. No. You are right. Proxy, you must deal with Vermina. Gadain will help me return to Cypher's Midden.
You can't face Vermina alone. I don't believe I'm saying this, but I'll go with you.
This is more than just the presence of a rival Daedric prince. Something else is happening here.
I think Vermina's presence has somehow intensified Blightcrown's corruption. I don't understand it either, but like it or... Ripples of agony from below. You need to go down, mortal. Smite your foe. You can't face Vermina.
This is more than just the presence of a rival Daedric prince. Something else is happening here.
Great eye. Call on me. Mess. If we survive, the Great Eye will probably make me clean it up.
Easy.
Mortal, let me aid you. They must have gone that way. Mortal, let me aid you.
Remember, Vermina's not alone. Blightcrown and Torvasad are with her.
got to do better than that to stop us.
I am a vessel of the Great Eye. Call on me.
Hidden kindred. Looks like Vermina brought an army.
Let a popper smite your foe. Let a popper smite your foe. That portal. Vermina passed through it, mortal. This place feels ancient. Like no one's been here in an eternity.
Concoction worked splendidly. We are hidden, and Mora suffers. Tovasar, take the Dream Prince into the Eye of Mora, and find your memory.
I see the Eye of Mora above us. That's where we need to go, mortal. Blight Crown! Did he say something about an Eye of Mora?
Ignore Blight Crown. We need to reach Vermina and destroy Shalreni's body.
I don't think we should be in here.
Let's go.
Between Vermina... Those cultists are in our way. Dispatch them, mortal.
This one's mine.
Mortal, we need to talk. Blight Crown's a threat, but Vermina's a prince. We should follow Vermina and Torvasard into the Eye of Mora. Blight Crown's a threat, but I have no clue which memory of Hermaeus Mora this particular eye contains. But we should go in and do what we came here to do. Find Vermina and destroy Master Shalreni's body. Without the protection it provides, Mora should be able to pinpoint her. You're right. I don't hear the Great Eye. I think that has something to do with Vermina's presence, Blake Crown's corruption, and the rite they completed to enter the realm. It's just a guess, but if we solve one problem, it should help. This has to be Vermina's fault. Stupid Prince of Dreams.
This memory is mine now, mortal. I have wrapped it in a dream of my own creation.
We need to discuss this, mortal.
I sense a flaw. Use my ghost sight to reveal it.
You want to die? Fire!
I have done the unthinkable. Now, I must make sure it cannot be undone.
That was part of the true memory. Find me more flaws to break, mortal. Listen carefully, mortal. Vermina's power is limited here. This isn't her realm. It's only due to the necromancy they used on Shelreni's body that she made it this far. She's placed a dream around us, but the true memory is still here. Vermina hasn't been in here very long. She didn't have time to craft a perfect dreamscape to hide within. Look for flaws in the illusion. The cracks in the facade. We're inside one of the Great Eye's secret memories. That's just an echo of him, part of the memory. Like I said, Vermina's overlay of dream stuff isn't perfect, and we can take advantage of that. Good idea. If you can find the weak points, I can break them open and expose the true memory beneath.
In 3 glyphics.
This must be the memory of when Hermaeus Mora hid the secret the enemy seeks.
The way it began, secured inside the glyphic of hidden paths.
Point.
locked within the glyphic of lost memories. With regret, the memory of what I had to do, sealed inside the glyphic of shattered reflections. Who dares invade my private memories?
We got what we came here for, Torvasad. This way!
How dare Vermina enter my realm? Fighter! Protect the three glyphics. Go and enter the mythos.
This is the mythos deep beneath the Icor. This is the mythos deep beneath the Icor Sea. This is the mythos deep beneath the Icor Sea. I am a vessel of the Great Eye. Call on me. This is the core of Apocrypha. Remember how Torvasard altered a memory and changed the past? The damage they can cause here is enormous.
Get him.
This is the core of Apocrypha. Remember how I am a vessel of the Great Eye. Call on me. Core of Apocrypha. Remember how Torvasard altered This is the core of Apocrypha. Remember how Torvasard altered a memory and changed the past? The damage they can cause here is enormous. This is the core of Apocrypha. Remember how Torvasard altered a memory and changed the past? The damage they can cause here is enormous.
Let's knock some heads.
Mortal, let me aid you. Let Apocrypha smite your foe.
Skill issue.
We need to hurry, mortals.
Never a dull moment.
we can, Coruscant.
The Dreamweaver flees. But what of the Glyphic Vault? It will pay for the damage she has wrought on my realm. Approach, Chosen, and hear my words. I shook off the worst effects of Vermina's corrupting presence, but not soon enough. The intruders have fled. But the vault of the Glyphic! You must determine if the secret remains secure. Not just any Glyphic. One of 3 primordial Glyphics that in total contain the entirety of the memory I made everyone forget. A memory that, if restored, will destroy reality. Enter the vault. Check on the Glyphic. That which I cannot see. The corruption coursing through Apocrypha continues to weaken me. I must do everything I can to maintain a connection to my realm. Enter and examine the Glyphic. I give you permission to gaze upon this portion of the memory. It cannot be avoided. Fate's Chosen must make sure the Glyphic is secure and the memory intact. We shall talk again when you are done. Examine the Glyphic of Hidden Paths. It will reveal its portion of the secret to you. Regrettably, there is no other way to determine if the Glyphic remains intact. But fate will survive a slight fraying of its fabric. It has to. Now, go!
Why have you called us all together, Prince of Fate?
We must deal with this problem, Dreamweaver. I have seen what happens if we do nothing. Already the threads of fate unravel. They have no regard for the chaos they can cause.
Ah, that's it! What I needed to spark my memory. I will restore the rest. Lord of Secrets, I will restore it all!
Torvus, if one of the unseen could evade my sight here. Chosen, we must speak. My power remains diminished due to the toxins Periite's followers polluted Apocrypha with. But you helped me break free of the worst of the miasma. You saw the contents of the Glyphic of Hidden Paths, as did Torvesard. I did not expect that. Not yet. One thread in the tapestry snapped, but 2 more remain. If you can keep my enemies from unsealing the final 2 glyphics, there is still a chance to preserve Apocrypha and the rest of reality. You saw how this began. The great omission. Just something from very long ago. Something I did not expect to encounter ever again. It is not important. Not yet. Right now, fate requires a champion, mortal. Do as you have done. Follow your heart. Return to Laramil. Consult with her. Defeat those who oppose us. You will know the best course of action when fate requires it. Now, I must conserve my strength. Apocrypha is under attack, and I feel its pain.
We need to discuss this, mortal. We need to discuss this, mortal.
I have recovered, Proxy. Now tell me, what occurred after we parted ways in the Infinite Panopticon? Part of the memory has been remembered, but reality has not unraveled, so we must still have time to make this right. Vermina and her allies continue to assault Apocrypha, but freeing Hermaeus Mora was a victory. Well done. This is for you, Proxy. Secret and forbidden knowledge. Something so terrible that Hermaeus Mora wiped the very memory of it from all existence. But now Torvesard has plucked a thin sliver from the darkness, urging us to remember. Though it pains me, we cannot allow that. You did. I am unsure how I feel about that. I want to ask you 1,000 questions, but the corruption plaguing Apocrypha grows worse with every passing moment, and Vermina still roams free. I am torn as what to do. An opportunity, perhaps? It shall take Vermina time to locate the remaining glyphics. That gives us a chance to end the corruption and restore Hermaeus Mora's power. Are you willing to hunt down Blightcrown while I try to locate Vermina. What started in the Panopticon has spread beyond into other parts of Apocrypha. Gadain and I have seen its effects here among the stacks. While you investigate the corruption in Cypher's Midden, I shall try to determine where to find Vermina. We know it is a vile combination of dream and disease, developed by Blightcrown from concepts provided by Vermina and Periite. Master Shelreni helped to perfect it, and her rite increased its strength. It hides Vermina and weakens Hermaeus Mora. As we have seen, it drives the inhabitants of Apocrypha mad, and turns even allied Daedra violent. Scroot could sense the agony of the realm back on Nairn. Here, I fear she may eventually succumb as the other natives have. Even I am not immune. No, despite your status as Fate's proxy, you seem resistant. Now, explore Cypher's Midden, and try to track down Blightcrown, or determine how the affliction spreads. I shall attempt to locate Vermina. Remember, they used sensors in the Panopticon.
I'll go with you. It's not like I have anywhere else to be.